And now, I'd like to lead you in a guided meditation. Before we begin the podcast, if you'll close your eyes and just listen to the sweet sounds of my voice and repeat these manifestation phrases. I am Drew Carey.
I am Drew Carey.
I am not a loser.
I am not a loser.
I may not have a girlfriend.
I may not have a girlfriend.
But, I got a sitcom.
But, I got a sitcom.
It's on ABC.
It's on ABC.
And, I think 2 decades later...
I'm going to host The Price is Right.
I'm going to host The Price is Right.
That was Shane Defner on the ones and twos.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to Cleveland Rocks, your favorite old-timey podcast.
Yeah. Boy, zing, zing.
Auga. It's just
morning zoo radio.
I can't wait until we're in season 8 of this show and we're just doing sound effects.
We will have to do. I think we will have to eventually get sound effects with how wacky this show is gonna get. I'm sure.
I can't wait until we get Batman sound effects.
Yeah, I feel like we're gonna need that. By the time we get there, we're gonna need to up our production.
Yeah, I think we'll be in a studio.
Yeah,
we'll be in a proper studio and not
just
the
whole last
kitchen.
Season. We're just gonna live stream.
We were debating this. I had jokingly said I think we should live stream us binging all 22 to 24 episodes of the Drew Carey Show's final season.
Apparently it's bad too.
Oh no! Do you think who do you think they wrote off by that point?
All I know is we'll still have Mimi, Drew. Oswald.
It'd be crazy if they did the Drew Carey Show without Drew Carey.
Lewis.
Yeah.
No, they wrote
off
Drew.
Yeah. Now it's just Ray Romano as Drew Carey. How the hell are you doing?
Oh, buddy, I'm doing great.
It's a beautiful day to watch the Drew Carey Show.
It always is.
Yeah.
It's never once been a bad day.
There's never been a bad day to watch it.
It's hard to watch a show and have a bad day.
Yeah. It is especially as we continue deeper into season 2, it's goofier.
This is so silly.
It's so silly.
I thought it was silly in the beginning. I remember I don't know, one of the early episodes we watched, they had this harebrained scheme to have a wedding for Kate.
Yes.
And I was like, what a goofy little show.
Yeah. Now we're playing pool with the devil. Yeah. Now it's we've really just gone off the deep end of how crazy things can go. But I enjoyed it.
It was a true and blue Halloween episode up next. Season 2, episode 5 was The Devil, you say.
Yeah, and it is a full-ass Halloween episode.
Yeah.
We start with a Halloween decored
Warsaw,
and it is it's fun. There's little cauldrons people are drinking out of, skull heads and shit all around.
Yeah.
They didn't do a Buzz Beer Halloween campaign. They're talking about why they didn't do that or how they could.
No, but they did introduce their second slogan, a beer that throws up smooth.
There you go. You know what? That's all I kind of want out of a beverage.
They're drinkers, so I like that, you know what, they just lean into it.
Yeah, no frills. We don't need any, they were talking about, maybe we dress up in costume when we go to deliver things or whatever. You don't need that.
No.
Give me the beer.
Yes, just give me beer.
Kate comes into the bar as the fellas are talking, and she's finally feeling good. After her breakup, she feels like she doesn't need the dependency upon a man that she felt she used to need.
She doesn't need a man. A man no longer makes her feel complete.
That's exactly it. Yeah. And literally, I think 30 seconds after she says that, a new handsome stranger walks into the Warsaw who catches her eye.
Naturally. He has a leather coat on.
Yeah.
Some longish hair.
Some nice workwear attire.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, it went by very quick, but I feel like you probably did notice, as she goes over to greet the stranger, she does 3 superstitious things.
Yep.
In a row.
Exactly. Yeah. A cat walks by her. She
opens
accidentally
an
umbrella
and
inside.
She walks under a ladder.
She walks under a ladder, yeah.
Why the fuck are you moving the ladder like that in the...
Open
and up in the air. It's it doesn't make any sense to me. It's very, But,
and she lands right on his lap.
Yep. And I spotted immediately the dude's shirt is just embroidered with the words "the devil."
The devil,
just like workwear, like you would see above a breast pocket.
Yeah,
yeah.
The red shirt.
He insists it's a joke. Oh, it's just a joke. And how'd you get it? Things. He's very like,
Yeah, he's
you
talking
know.
with the whole group at
Yeah,
this point.
at this point
so
we
Kate
introduce him to
stumbled
everybody.
over, and then all of her friends came over. They're like, "Are you okay?" And then they all started talking. So he's having a beer with all of them.
we've made friends with the devil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They start going over nicknames because of that. And the one nickname that was brought up for Drew is Turf Top.
Turf top.
What the fuck does that mean? Is
Well,
that
it's
like his haircut
Yeah,
is
it's his
short?
haircut. It's short. It's like grass. That's how I took it to be.
Is that rude?
What was the other one they gave him? Fats something at the end.
I mean, yeah, it was all like weight stuff and then
Yeah.
Turf Top. And I'm like, was his haircut that bad?
I mean, I don't know, like a crew cut like that. Yeah, some
Yeah.
people like to make fun of it.
I should also we should also explain in this early scene that we find out that Drew kind of a stick in the mud. He doesn't like Halloween.
Yeah, Drew's against the concept of like dressing up for Halloween or doing things like that.
What do you think of spooky season?
Personally, I'm kind of with Drew. I'm over it a little
Yeah.
bit. I, you know, when was the last time you dressed up in a costume? Like a full-fledged, like I'm actually going to put effort
I was
going to
say, do you count like I've worn
No,
the
you've
goofy
done a lot of, you've done
glasses
some
or
like,
an
you've done
arrow,
the arrow
through the head?
Not that. I'm
Like,
saying, like,
I've
when did
half-assed
you
it.
invest money into a costume last?
Real costume?
I can tell you mine, yeah.
My freshman year of college. My freshman year of college,
What were you?
I went as the Ricola guy. You know, like the
yeah.
Ricola.
Yeah, so like,
some lederhosen,
yeah,
and then like
kind of like a polka
kind of
dude.
like a horn, yeah, that kind
yeah,
of thing.
yeah, like those kind of pants and everything.
Yeah.
Mine was my senior year of high school, and I did Ralph from Wreck-It Ralph.
I thought
Which
you were
was
going to
fun.
say Ralph from The Simpsons. and I'm
Ralph,
like,
no, that'd be cool.
that would be funny.
That would be funny. No, I did Wreck-It Ralph, and
Wreck-It
I went in
Ralph.
like overalls, and I had
I
a
never
buddy.
watched Wreck-It Ralph.
Oh, it's a good movie. I didn't see the sequel, but I liked the first one.
Yeah,
I had
evidently,
a-
I would hope you did.
I had a, I had a buddy who had, you know, they had like Hulk hands.
Yeah.
But
I had
they
Hulk
weren't
hands.
Hulk hands. They were from the Fantastic Four movie, so they were Thing
The
hands.
Thing hands.
Which works great for Ralph because he's like a big orange dude. I think.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
So anyway.
is he? I thought he was just like a white guy.
He might just be a white guy. I don't know, but orange is closer to a Caucasian complexion than green.
Orange was the first, like, whenever you would draw Caucasian people as a kid,
Yeah.
orange was the first color you were
You were
using.
like, well,
At
this
least
is kind of
as I remember it.
Well, yeah, sure. It's like tan. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
you know,
you're a tanned person.
Donald Trump is orange.
Right.
So, you know, and he's a white guy.
Orange devil.
Orange
Devil. Man.
But,
But yeah, no. My favorite, what was your favorite costume you ever think you had?
I'd have to think about that. I don't know. The first one that comes to my head that I enjoyed, though it's not like a fun costume, was towards the end of my trick-or-treating days. Probably like, I don't know when you stopped trick-or-treating. I stopped when I was like 13.
Yeah, I stopped kind of earlier than most because then my friends and I really liked Halloween as a kid. I don't really care about it now,
No.
but as a kid, we built like little haunted houses around my friend Ian's house.
Sure.
We had like smoke machines and spooky lights, and we would jump out of his garage and scare kids.
Nice.
Yeah.
So that was your Halloween then. You weren't going around. You were scaring other kids.
Yeah.
Nice.
I would go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say the one year we did it, I dressed up as Michael Myers, and I wore. I did not buy the suit. I was a little chunky kid.
Mm-hmm.
I did not. It was not my suit. It was one of my skinnier friends' costumes.
So you were popping out of it.
The zipper in the front was like holding on for dear life. I was just the
It was putting the work
chunkiest,
in.
shortest, fattest little Mike Myers.
Nah. I think he would be less terrifying if he was just a short fat kid.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was gonna say one of my last Halloween costumes trick or treating was I just wore an alien mask out,
Yeah.
just in a hoodie, and then I went around again with the alien mask off in my head, and I went as the guy who killed that alien from earlier.
That's pretty good.
That's when I knew I think
That's
I was
awesome.
done. I was like, I don't really care anymore.
No, but that's a good idea.
Yeah. Some people were like, "Get the fuck out of here."
Yeah,
And I was like, yeah,
did
yeah, it's
everyone
fair.
give you candy
Some
again?
people did. Some people were appreciated.
Well, they have to appreciate the bit.
Yeah, the art of the bit.
That's good.
But other people were like, "Get the fuck off my lawn." I was like, "All right, that's fair. Have a great night. Happy Halloween." Anyway, yeah. So we meet the devil.
Yes.
Then we go to work the next day with Drew, and there's a new employee memo out. Mr. Wick is insisting everybody dresses up for Halloween. This seems like an early guy boss move. to win morale and have a little fun. And
Right.
though it's mandatory.
Yeah, and I
I'd be
guess
pissed.
like he does have a little flair. It seems, Mr. Wick.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, he's
a little.
He's dressing up like an English king while he's talking to Drew
He's
about
like
this new policy.
modeling it for Drew. It's kind of fun.
Drew is worried that management is going to get even less respect with this costume policy.
Yeah, I think that's a cop out though. Drew again is just a stick in the mud.
Also, Drew just don't get no respect to begin with.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Drew's all of a sudden worried about respect.
Yeah.
Nobody cares.
Buddy, you weren't getting it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, it is very funny then that Wick has on a full like Victorian style wig and goes, "Do you respect me less in this?" And
Yeah.
Drew has to go, "No, sir."
I wrote in my notes, Mr. Wick is wacky and I like it.
It's good, man. Craig Ferguson's good in this role.
Yeah, he really is.
He kills it.
So naturally, the devil just shows up to Drew's office.
Yeah, I guess
Everyone
he's looking for
fucking
Kate.
rolls into his office.
Kate and the devil have been dating now.
Yeah.
But we learned that she's calling him Jack,
Yeah, I guess that's his
nickname.
the nickname he's going by.
But he's also looking for work, we learned. So while he's like shooting the shit with Drew, waiting for Kate to get off, he inquires about work at Winfred Lauder.
yeah.
And the devil, Drew like asks for the guy's name, and he goes, "It's the devil."
Yeah. And he's like, and the pen has blood in it.
Yeah,
what's
no.
your real
So,
name?
but what's your real name? No, it's the devil. He then pulls out like a driver's license. The driver's license, I guess, says the devil.
Yeah, it's
you
also-
can change your name to anything.
It's also from New Jersey.
It's also the devil's from New Jersey. That checks out.
Yeah.
I was gonna say if the devil was gonna be from anywhere, they do
Yeah.
have a Jersey devil.
Yeah, it would have to be.
Yeah, they got
That
a whole
checks out.
fucking hockey
They got a
team
whole,
about
They made
it.
a whole hockey team about it. He does look like a Jersey guy.
He does
Leather
for sure.
coat, kind of Italian.
I was gonna say greasy hair, which is, as we know, just coded language for kind of Italian. So yeah, he Drew is not thrilled with this bit. He thinks it's a bit that the guy thinks he's actually Satan. He's turned off by it. You know.
Yeah, Drew's like, what are you? Where are your horns? And he's like, you got one bad hair day in the 13th century, and all of a sudden you have horns.
The devil has come prepared with like lore.
Yeah.
Like, which is just a weird guy move, I would
Yeah,
say.
absolutely. I mean, at this point, you're not, as the viewer, totally convinced.
No, yeah.
But you're just like, this is a psycho. This is a crazy person.
How does the devil end up in Cleveland? I guess how does the devil end up anywhere?
Yeah. I
you
guess
know.
he just kind of, he's making his way through the good
He's
old
doing a
heart of
cross-country
America.
trip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's beautiful in Cleveland in autumn.
Yes.
Autumn in Cleveland.
Yeah, I liked also he goes through a list of his previous jobs that he's had.
Oh, yeah.
He worked at the DMV, the post office, and
Used
then
cars.
used car salesman, UNICEF. And then when that one comes up, he goes, "Well, not all of them are bad."
Yeah.
Yeah, no, just really trying to sell the fact that he is beelzebul.
And then Kate comes up, and slowly all the pieces kind of come together. We start to find out that everything's going right for Kate. She's starting to kind of get everything she wants.
She's getting lucky, real lucky.
Real lucky lately.
They didn't have to pay for lunch with Jack.
Yeah, the
because they forgot her
couple
receipts.
moved in one of the neighboring apartments, moved out. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just too good. And then Drew brings up that he had a conversation with this guy, and he don't like the guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's worried about Kate's future with this man.
Also, his name is really the devil, I guess. So
yeah, she keeps calling him Jack. It's just such a preposterous idea.
it's really fun.
Yeah, it's fun.
It's like Treehouse of Horror shit.
Yeah. Like you just don't even know how to handle it as a character, let alone
Yeah.
from like a stepping back situation.
So then, well, how does the challenge begin? He's like,
well,
the devil has Kate's soul or
yeah.
something.
Well, we get the next day we go back to the office. So
Right.
we return to the office. It's Halloween. Everybody's dressed up. Drew costumes so popular. There's like 4 guys dressed as Drew. Drew says they're all dressed like Dilbert. We do need to talk. Now there's Dilberts, by the way, in Drew's office. I don't know if you've noticed this.
Yeah.
Like that wasn't there last season, right?
What?
The Dilbert stuffed animals?
Oh, no, those are new.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they're really trying to paint like a... I know Dilbert now is not in vogue because the guy who created it is like a Nazi or whatever, but
Yeah.
like I think they're trying to create like an
God,
everyman.
what a weird pivot.
Yeah.
I didn't read a lot of Dilbert. I
Yeah.
don't know if it's like coded at all.
No. Yeah, I think Dilbert's about spreadsheets, but somehow that guy just I guess when you make enough money you don't work in spreadsheets anymore, so he just had a lot of free time. I don't really know.
Yeah.
Shout out the Dilbert guy. I don't know. Actually, I guess not shout
Don't
out.
shout out.
Do not shout out. You do not have to hand it
Actually,
to him under any
no.
circumstances. But I'm just saying, I wonder
Fuck
if there's
that
like a
guy.
Dilbert connection with Drew. Like, I wonder if I don't know. I don't know what it would be.
Yeah.
Did ABC
I guess
own
it's just
Dilbert?
like he wears the glasses. He's in an
Oh,
office
for sure.
place.
He looks like the guy.
He
that would
looks
be
like the
pencil
guy
pushing.
in the
Yeah. It's just funny to have the actual branded thing there. Anyway, so we're at the office. Everybody's dressed up for Halloween. Drew dressed like Mimi, which is terrifying. It's like Drew looks like...
seeing Drew without glasses, is uncomfortable.
It's just, it's a little
I really
too
didn't
surreal.
recognize him at first.
No. He looks a little off for sure. I
Yeah.
mean, he nailed the makeup. The eyeshadow's perfect.
Excellent.
Yeah, but it's a weird look. Kate has dressed like a knight in shining armor.
Yeah.
Which causes Drew to make a joke about she's dating the devil, but looks like Joan of Arc,
right.
something like that. Mimi, of course, dresses like the devil.
Yeah.
In a very
naturally.
fun twist. Yeah, it works. And then that's where Jack comes back in. He's not dressed like anybody because he's just the fucking devil. And this is where we learn that he's
he really is Satan.
yeah, he thinks at least that he is Satan.
Yeah,
he has
he
made
really
a
believes
deal
he's-
for Kate's soul over a milkshake.
Yeah,
she said
and-
she would sell her soul for a milkshake. She goes, "Well, I'm just kidding." And he goes, "A milkshake, this, that, the other. I want to be the president. Whatever you want. Like, it doesn't matter. I still have your soul."
Yeah, he has it now.
Yeah. There's a good joke about wanting the time slot between Seinfeld and ER,
Yeah.
which is such a niche 90s joke.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
So in order to get the soul back,
Yeah. Drew,
challenges him
Yes.
to a game of 9-ball pool.
yeah. The rule is if the devil loses, Kate gets to keep her soul. If the devil wins, he gets Kate's soul, Drew's soul, and like some poor temp that they just hired soul.
Right, but the first thing that Drew proposed, he was like, if I lose, then I have to stay in middle management for the rest of my life. And the devil was like, I hate to break it to you.
No!
He's like, no.
Yeah. Poor Drew. Poor Drew's just going to be in that fucking cubicle.
In
the
that
rest of his
same
life.
cubicle his whole life.
Just how it's going to go. So anyway, but then we get to the momentous occasion of
Pool
the
in the
whole gang's
backyard.
there for this pool battle, pool
Yeah.
royale. I love that Oswald's got a necklace of garlic because he thinks that's
Yeah.
going to scare away the devil.
He just doesn't know.
He doesn't know. He thinks vampires are devils.
They're
and-
all like fucking with him too a little bit.
Oh,
like
for
we
sure.
should clarify that the rest of the gang has not bought into this yet. There was an earlier moment in the episode where Lewis was talking about how a drug one of his bosses, or some random guy came in and pretended to be the president
Yeah.
of the company.
Yeah.
And he was like,
It's
"Here's
just-
we had a guy at Drug Co that said he was the president, but here's a tip: the president doesn't come in and spank you and run away." So, anyway, nobody's really buying the devil thing.
No.
He's just a guy saying this is what he is.
But anyway, he goes up to, his first hit on the pool board.
And then they put on "The Devil Went Down to Georgia."
Yes. Very fitting. Very
Yeah.
fitting. This is, again, the start of the music licensing. I can
Right,
see.
I could see
These
it.
motherfuckers just playing that song. Devil gets all of the balls in.
Yeah, makes it all one stroke.
One stroke. That's when Drew proposes best out of 3, I guess.
Double or nothing.
Double
he
or
says.
nothing. That's what it is.
He says double or nothing, and then he's offering up his friend's soul to Lewis and Oswald. So
And a little better luck he has with the double or nothing.
yeah,
but-
because Lewis is like, look, there's God, and
Right.
then he misses
so he
it.
misses. Drew kind of scratches, I think. Drew hits nothing, right?
Yeah, Drew hits nothing,
And then
the
devil goes
makes
back
them all
and
again.
makes them all again in one stroke. So it looks like they're well and fucked. That these people just absolutely cannot beat the devil.
Yeah.
Lewis tries at one point to grab his soul, a la you would grab a baby's nose. I got your soul.
Yeah.
And the devil just doesn't fall for it.
I guess the devil still has to make the 8-ball though, which is what this last shot is.
Oh, sure, he has to call it and make it. Yeah.
And then
That's where the whole thing, the rug is pulled out from underneath the devil because he goes, "I'll have the Virgin Kate."
well, no, but first Kate starts to talk a little trash too.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, the only way that you think you can get a woman is to take her soul.
Yeah.
Whatever, that is starting to get the devil in his feels a little
Yeah,
bit.
absolutely.
And
Make
then
him
yeah,
feel like less of a man.
and he's like, all right, 8-ball corner pocket for the virgin soul.
And then the guy's all all start laughing because they realize
They're
that
like,
he thinks
"You-
Kate's a
Kate-
virgin. You think
Kate's a virgin?
Yeah.
I guess Kate got drunk and told him he was a virgin.
Yeah.
She was a virgin.
he's disgusted then by both her and the rest of the gang and just kind of storms off.
Yep.
And that's how we resolve the episode with the devil trying to get Kate's soul.
He just gives up.
It's such a weird little perfect Halloween ep. I enjoy it a lot.
Kate has slept with enough men that the devil is uninterested.
Yeah, you know you're bad when
You only want those
the
virgin souls.
king of darkness isn't interested in you.
You're too impure.
And then
That's
I
good.
can't. I did not write down the credits scene. Oh, it's Drew in
Drew-
Mimi costumes.
Drew was dressed as Mimi in his
Yeah.
house smoking
Yeah.
like a cigar
Why
or
is
something.
he smoking a cigar just alone? And he's stealing kids' candy and replacing it with
Yeah, so
healthier
the
shit
trick-or-treaters
he should
are
be
coming,
eating.
and he's like, oh, you don't want that. I'll take your candy. Why don't you take these granola bars my doctor told me to eat?
Yeah.
Or here's a can of tuna or an
Yeah,
exercise
yeah.
video.
And then Mimi comes over dressed as the devil and eggs him in the face.
The real devil.
The real devil, Mimi Bobek. So that is The Devil You Say.
Nice little Halloween app.
Love a good Halloween app. I wonder if we're gonna see like more explicit holiday episodes now that like again we've decided the show is worth giving a budget to.
Yeah. And also that it's just going to be like, that was as episodic gets.
Yeah, absolutely.
Beginning, end,
It
no
all
loose
ties
ends.
together.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's no, nothing too crazy development wise.
Yeah, it really felt like a Treehouse of Horror episode.
Yeah. We then go to episode 6, The Day the Music Died. I don't know what I thought this was going to be about. It was not at all what I could have imagined.
It was not the plane crash.
I kind of joked that it was going to be a Buddy Holly retelling, and it wasn't that. It wasn't anything that I could have imagined. So we start with another carpool cold.
Hello?
This is Mimi, though.
Yes.
Mimi's carpool. For some reason, Chuck's in it.
Yeah, interesting group in this one.
Yeah.
It's Chuck and then Drew, but he's disguised.
He's hiding. We're saying he's just a new guy from Shoes. Chuck, again, has all these friends from Shoes. He's got ideas for women's shoes. What's going on with Chuck?
Yeah, Chuck has a
Chuck's
foot
got
thing,
a little
I
foot
guess
thing
we've
that
discovered.
we're just not talking about.
But I also just love that. I love that Chuck and Drew are boys.
Yeah.
Chuck is helping him out, helping Drew out because Chuck's
When he had
pretending
that
he's
stalker, Drew, or Chuck was all over Drew, I think.
Yeah.
This is Chuck's a ride or die. He's also a good guy to have because he seems like just he could kick some ass at any moment.
When you got to have the guy in security, they know all.
Absolutely. But yeah, so he's there. Drew was in hiding because Mimi, of course, would never actually drive Drew.
Mimi has an intercom on her fucking car,
Yeah.
like a police officer,
Yeah, so she can talk.
so she
to
can yell
people.
at traffic.
Mhm. She's also doing her makeup as she drives, which Chuck is not a fan of, safety wise.
Yeah.
But she learns basically that Drew is in the car, and they start chatting. And she seems, obviously, in case doing her makeup at the wheel wasn't enough, she seems a little distracted. So I think cops.
She tries to throw Drew out too, and he's like, "You
Yeah.
can't stop on the freeway." And then the cops show up behind her.
Yeah, the cherries and berries start going. She tries to outrun them.
Yeah, I guess Mimi has 4 tickets already. She's like, and she speeds up. She's like, "I can't get caught."
I can't get another.
So she tries to outrun
She tries
the
talking
police.
to them on the intercom. She just
Yeah.
starts driving.
My favorite thing is on the intercom. They're trying to chase her down. The cops are like, "Pull over," and then she's like, "I can't go less than 50 or it'll blow up."
We hear that all the time.
Yeah, you don't think we get that all the time?
Yeah. Then we get to the office. Everybody's late. It turns out they had to go to the station because they did not know what the eyeshadow in a baggie that Mimi carries is.
Yeah.
They thought it was drugs.
And I guess that meant Drew had to get a cavity search.
Yeah. Drew's walking with a limp. But it's here that basically I guess the whole gang comes in because, it's their office. We're just playing in it. And Oswald...
What the fuck is this office?
Well, I guess
It
Oswald
drives
could be
me
there dropping off
crazy.
packages, right? 'Cause
Yeah.
he works for the UPS
But
or whatever.
okay, also, what's the deal with Lewis?
Well, we know that he's a night janitor.
Oh yeah, I
They
guess
do
we
say
did hear that
explicitly in one of
in the
these,
Halloween episode. We did hear
that he's a
that
night janitor.
he works the night shift because he said he was going to dress up as a burglar, and the only other person that he works with is a security guard.
Yeah. So,
But,
that was a bad idea.
But so he's just free during the day
Everybody's
to
just
just
around.
waltz into Drew's fucking office.
Anyway,
but then
there-
he's always getting smashed at the end of the day.
That is true.
So how often is he just?
Oh, yeah, if he's at the Warsaw, when the fuck's your shift, dude?
Yeah.
What are you doing? I love him. He doesn't have to work. I'll pay for him.
I hope it is the case where we just always hear about Drug Co. and we never see it.
I don't want to.
I don't want to see it. I don't want to see a uniform. I don't want to see anything that actually means
It's real.
it's real.
Yeah, I like the idea more that he's just invented or fabricated this whole thing.
Yeah.
Oswald was at the high school, was it, or elementary school? I'm confused by the timeline here.
It was the high school, and he was dropping off some packages.
And he learns that their band teacher, Ms. Blankenship, has died. And nobody really seems to care except Drew, who wants as much information as he can. Like, how did she die? Where?
Yeah, he was really broken up
Where's
about
the
it.
memorial service? When is it? This, that, the other. He was really broken up about it in a way.
His high school band
Because
teacher.
he says, it was his first band teacher. It's a woman that meant a lot to him, is what he says at the time.
Yeah.
So Drew has an idea to reunite the high school band members from his era and have them perform for Ms. Blankenship's sort of funeral service.
And the way he's going to find him is he's going to ask one of the shoe guys. I guess they have a list of all the people who got orthopedic insoles. And that's how he's going to find
get them.
the band people.
That's good. They're
But,
all so old.
And then there are a few other things happen at this scene in the office, which I think are good little character things.
Mm-hmm.
One, there's Julie.
Yes.
Julie in the office.
So Drew's trying to get his groove back now that
after
him and Lisa split.
dumped his ass.
Yeah. Well, they split amicably.
Amicable breakup.
Nobody dumped nobody's ass.
No.
But and Drew got a nice dog out of it. But yeah, no.
Got a broken dog.
He's going for Julie, who works downstairs somewhere. Did they say where? I can't remember.
Yeah, I'm gonna guess shoes.
She's
but
on
I
the
don't
floor,
know.
but Kate called her up and trying to get Drew to ask her out for a group lunch with the
Yeah.
guys and everything. And Drew feels weird about it.
So he
and
goes
then-
up to ask her.
Yeah, he's like, "What's the worst you can say? No."
Goes up to ask her,
and she immediately
No.
says no.
Instantly.
Immediately says no.
That was it.
Yeah.
And then also in this scene, Mr. Wick
Yes.
fires a guy, but it's the way he does it.
Yeah.
Again, he's so silly. He comes out and he's like, Johnson, your sales are down 50%. Pick a hand. And he holds his two hands out. And in the one hand, he picks the one, he opens it up, it just says, "You're fired."
Yeah.
And he's like, that would have been cruel. And then he opens up the other one, and it also says,
They
"You're
both
fired."
say you're fired.
Yeah.
He's a silly, goofy guy who's just doing his best.
And I guess this is just one of the examples because Drew's like, that's a lot better
Then
than the Wheel of Destiny.
Yeah. I would like the idea that all of the segments of the wheel say you're fired,
Yeah.
and he spins it.
But then he asks
Mr.
Wick for
a-
personal day
yeah.
so that he can go mourn the loss of his dearest high school band teacher.
Mr. Wick agrees to it as long as Drew can correctly guess the number he is thinking of between 1 and 1 million. And Drew nails it. I can't remember the exact.
Yeah.
It was
It was like
423,000
something.
thousand.
Yeah.
It's crazy, but he nails it. And Mr. Wick goes, "Okay," and then he
All right.
walks right into his office. Is that? Do you think it's a testament to just Drew being lucky, or does he mind meld with this British man now?
Yeah, well, maybe he just
Maybe
knows
they're
him
same
so.
brain.
Yeah, maybe they really. That's the number he always picks.
Mm-hmm. I don't know how you would know that. Drew Gay's been around for like maybe a month at this point, and Drew's
Yeah.
able to figure that out.
Man, a high school band You weren't in band.
I was not in high school band. You were in high school band, though.
Little bit. My
Little bit.
freshman year.
Yeah, that's
And
still
then
more
I
than
did-
me.
I did band through 4th grade, 5th grade, all the way up until I think it was 9th grade, but only the first semester. Was it even 9th grade though? Really, the peak of my band existence was in the 7th and 8th grade at our school. They let you be a part of the high school marching band. I guess because there weren't enough people interested in the marching band.
Yeah.
I was in the band in middle school. I played the saxophone. And
Cool guy saxophone.
the cool guy sax, the Barry sax, it was the big one.
Hell yeah.
I picked the hardest one to carry anywhere and the one that you're least likely to practice.
Yeah.
It was really fun, right? It was fun to you do like the band camp stuff. I was like, this is cool.
Sure.
Wasn't for me.
You did like the
Ultimately-
summer band camp?
Yeah, I
Oh, wow.
ultimately realized that like this is not my speed. Some of the people I found kind of annoying. It just wasn't my thing.
Sure.
Fine. Like a year later, my freshman year of high school, we find out that the band director got fired because she was getting hammered at school on the clock.
On the clock
She
teaching
had
his kids?
There was like booze in her office. And she had a drinking problem.
Yeah.
Drinking and teaching
What?
all of us. And now it got me I can't remember her ever. She was always a little intense.
Yeah.
But like she was an old lady.
Yeah.
I was like,
You couldn't
whatever.
tell the difference between
I
an old
couldn't tell
lady
the
intensity
difference.
and alcoholic
But
intensity.
now I'm like, wow. I remember. I mean, not now, but when that happened, I was like, oh wow, that's.
Did that
I had
completely
no
recolored?
idea.
Did it recolor any memories for you with her? Were you like,
Well,
oh,
yeah.
fuck?
All of a sudden, I thought she was like a very she was intense, but she wanted you to be good.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, oh, she was intense, but she was also like
She had no idea what
a
was
mess.
going on.
Yeah, maybe she was. Yeah.
I did not have that experience. The only thing I did in high school really was I was on a bowling team, and the bowling team was dissolved because not enough people were involved in the bowling team.
Were you there with the year it was dissolved?
I was my freshman year, and then they dissolved it the next year. Yeah.
Wow.
So
They could have had a state
I got
bowler
my
on their
JV
hands.
letter. Don't worry about it.
That rules.
But yeah.
God, having a fucking Letterman jacket.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't get a jacket. I just
No,
got
but
like a
that would have been
patch.
cool if
Just-
you had a Letterman jacket and
There's
on the
just
back
one
it just said
patch.
bowling.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm the bowling guy. We
I'm
never
the
got
bowling.
uniforms or anything. It was kind of a bummer. I was
What'd you
hoping to
wear?
get- I just wore. Well, it was a Catholic school, so I just had a polo.
That'd be cool if you got like bowling shoes, but they were your school colors.
That'd be cool. Gold, green and gold would have been nice.
Oh, green and gold were your school colors?
Yeah, baby, that was
Those
my
are
high
nice.
school. Yeah. Shout out Lansdale Catholic for all
Shout
of
out.
all those Catholic heads listening.
Shout out Burl High School.
There you go. We're not going to shout out the name of the teacher.
No. You can look it up. If
You can try to Google it.
you can try to piece together my life now.
So back to the show, we smash to Drew's backyard, and he's successfully got a lot of the old high school band back together, including Lewis and Oswald. They're all trying to relearn songs. He gives them sheet music for Amazing Grace, and then gets mad when the marching band performs it like a marching band instead of like a somber sort
Yeah.
of church ballad.
Right. It was
Yeah.
good.
Drew basically just he continues to get more and more upset and like emotionally invested.
Yeah, he's
in
really
this
intense.
performance. Yeah, and then
Just a bunch of middle-aged guys with trumpets and
Right.
trombones and a tuba.
yeah, and one woman who plays cymbals.
Yeah.
And
Yes,
he
he
tells
says-
the cymbal player she sucks at one
Yeah.
point. He gets really like intense about it. They move inside to his house to continue rehearsing, and they start talking about Ms. Blankenship and what song should we perform, and can you reach out to her husband? She never had a husband. All this stuff. One guy implies that she was gay, and Drew kind
Yeah.
of like explodes. It doesn't like it.
Yeah.
And then cooler heads prevail. Drew moves to the kitchen, and we learn why Drew cares so much about Ms.
I
Blankenship.
couldn't believe this.
I thought it was so funny that Drew, as I'm going to say like a high school junior, right? It was his third year, we learn later.
Yeah.
Slept with his band teacher. Lost his virginity to his
Lost his
band
virginity to Miss Blankenship.
teacher. Yeah. It's crazy.
Just the once she was my first.
Yeah.
God.
So Drew, we all have this moment of just like,
Everyone's like, get the fuck out.
Yeah.
Oswald's like, you slept with people in high school?
yeah. It's crazy, man.
It really is the last trait you'd think Drew Carey would have in
Yeah.
this show.
Absolutely. It's just, I get it. If it's going to be anybody, it would probably be the one teacher you really like. But like, it's just crazy to think that Drew Carey sleeping around with his band teacher.
Yeah.
We then go to the funeral. I guess it's post.
We go to the it's in the gymnasium.
It's post the band performing because they thank the band for their service. They're all these guys are dressed in their outfits.
yeah.
Drew's like, yeah, it looks like everybody's putting on a little bit of weight, but not me. And he stretches this really big band shirt, and the joke
Yeah.
is, you were an extremely large child, and now you're just a slightly large adult.
Right.
But yeah, no, and then so right before services, Drew kind of like explains the whole situation of how it went down that him and Ms. Blankenship got together.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was just like after school one day, he was doing extra practice with her, and one thing led
He
to
was
another.
like, let's go to the soundproof rehearsal room or
Yeah.
whatever. Yeah.
He said she gave him a pin to kind of wear,
and he
it
was wearing the pin. It was a little
like-
treble clef.
Yeah, and he was her little love note, is what she said. How she described it to him, I think, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Kind of gross. I'll be honest. I said aw, and then I was like, oh wait, hold on. Oh God, wait, no.
Like, if you're gonna be a teacher, I think Kate had my favorite line here. She was like, "That's the most loving or the sweetest story of statutory rape
that I've ever heard.
that I've ever heard."
Yeah. It kind of is. Like when you take a giant. I'm glad they had her say that. When you take a step back, it is kind of fucked.
It had to be said. It was like, ew, but
yeah. Yeah. Oh man!
Oh,
and
it
then
was
the
good.
funeral services start.
principal's
I guess
talking.
the principal talks. I had his name. I can't. It was who the hell? Mr. Zand. What
Yeah.
are these names? They're
Mr.
just fucking
Zand.
blanking ship. They're just pulling shit out of thin air.
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyway, Mr. Zand's talking about her dedication to her craft and how her car was always out there in the parking lot and she was the last
'Cause
one
she-
leaving, tutoring
In there
other
toiling with the students in
Yeah.
their rehearsal room.
students. And Lewis and Oswald are just losing their minds
Yeah.
thinking about the implications. Yeah, and then we get a little moment at the end of the funeral service where Drew goes up to her, like, wreath or, you know, whatever it
and he
is,
takes off his pin
and he puts it onto the wreath.
and
And
he's
yeah,
like,
and
from
then-
your little love note.
Yeah, and then there's a
Thanks for
line
making me
of
a man.
guys behind him being
And
like,
he's like,
oh,
"Oh,
you
you
too?"
too?
And then they all start pinning their love
She
notes.
gets like 20 pins.
Yeah, Ms. Blankenship apparently was sleeping around.
She slept with all the first chairs, I guess.
Yeah. Oh, we need to also bring up her son. So in this
Oh,
funeral service,
huge.
the principal invites up her son,
Billy
Blankenship,
Blankenship.
terrible name, who literally they're going to give him like I guess like a scholarship grant or something in his name. He's 19 years old. He walks up, he's like a spitting image of Drew. He's got the dumb glasses.
He's got the glasses,
he's got
the crew cut.
He looks like a dark-haired Drew.
Yeah.
And then Drew's doing mental math to try to
Yeah.
figure
They
out
mention
if it's
he's
his
19.
kid. Yeah, and he's like 19, carry the. And he's like,
And
I'm
it
not
stands
a
up, it's-
father
Yeah.
or a rabbi, or I don't know why I'm speaking right now. And he sits down. Yeah, no, I enjoy Billy Blankenship. It's
Yeah,
oh
that was
man,
good.
I thought that was really going to be the twist for a second, and I was like,
It's like,
I don't know where this goes
I-
for
I
the
was-
rest of the season.
What a crazy.
Why did nobody tell me that there's a secret son on the Drew Carey show? Oh man.
So you cut to the next scene, and they're all hanging out post-funeral under the bleachers because I guess there was a game right after the funeral.
Yeah, they do say make the
make
procession
the
run
remark
quick.
because
We got a game in 5 minutes. I don't know why they're. I hate that they're under the bleachers. It feels weird to me.
Yeah, well, I guess that's just what kids used to do.
Yeah,
You
and they're
hang out,
still
and you drink and smoke
high
under the
schoolers.
bleachers.
Yeah, they're still in that mindset, I guess. in
Yeah,
this situation.
I hung out under the bleachers not in high school, but like I remember when I was a kid, and like there would be like a volleyball game or something. My
Sure.
mom used to coach
Sure.
some of those sports. I would be a little kid hanging out under the bleachers
Yeah.
with the other kids.
I mean, that's fine. Now imagine 4 30-year-old people.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
Just some memories, kicking
Yeah.
around old times.
Anyway, they're chatting up, that now they want to know about everybody's first time, especially because Drew feels like he's sort of revealed a bit too much of himself. So we get a whole Shaggy Dog story from Lewis about when he lost his virginity.
Oh, it's so good.
It's hard, you can't do it justice on a podcast
No.
recap, but he just leads you along, and it's very funny.
And we just come to find out he was going nowhere and that he eventually had sex with a girl
After
at a bar.
at a bar. Yeah, that's where it ends. Ryan Stiles, man, really.
He crushes. That's
Continues
what I'm
to
saying.
crush.
I really wonder how much he is also improvising because he, more than anyone, I feel like has the cast or at least Drew breaking.
Oh, for sure.
Now, granted, that's also like they're like buddies, and like if you watch Whose Line Is It Anyway, Ryan Stiles constantly had Drew Carey just fucking dying.
Yeah.
So
You wonder how much of that has to be crossover. Out here.
yeah,
For
but
sure.
I just wonder how much Ryan might be improvising or what. Maybe he's not improvising anything, and he's just got a killer delivery. But he really is. He's funny. He's good.
He's really good in this.
So anyway, everyone's divulging their first time.
Yeah, we then go to Kate, and
Yeah.
Kate kind of tries to push it off, and she's like, "It wasn't even that good or special." And Oswald then perks up and goes, "Oh, what do you mean it wasn't good? We're special, And it slowly becomes revealed that Oswald and Kate lost their virginity to one
To
another.
each other.
It's
Spicy.
a little spicy, just a little bit. They describe it as their clothes were all on.
They
and
were
just
wrestling, and
wrestling, and
then
there
they-
was one move that he
they
did
did a
over
few
and
times.
over. And this kind of pisses Drew off, which I want to bring it up, and we can talk more about it at the end. I feel like this was a secret Drew Cade episode that was not originally a Drew Cade episode. You know what I mean?
What do you mean?
I think like they're trying to especially at the end they pin it as like, oh, this is really about these two and their relationship, and we're back on that will they won't they shit.
Yeah, whenever it did take me back to the limo episode about
Absolutely.
and dressing in front of him, that kind of thing.
Yeah. So it's like this. Drew's upset, not really because because Oswald and Kate fucked, but he's upset because he felt like he didn't know the special things in special people's lives to him, basically.
Yeah.
He feels like he's out of the loop with things, and people don't think about him the way that he thinks about them.
Right. And he's still on the heels of this, finding out that Miss Blankenship slept with the whole fucking school.
Which I'm sure also made him feel special that he had slept with her, and then to see 20 other guys that look like him just rolling up with love note pins. So yeah, the next day then in the office, we get again, you want another silly Mr. Wick moment. Mr. Wick trying to console Drew based on the Winfred Louder employee handbook.
Yes.
And he's like counting the number of pats he can give.
Yeah.
He's trying to
are you management? He counts to 4 pats, and then he's like, are you management? And Drew's like, yes, and he gives him a 5th pat.
And then he just eventually gives up and has Drew read the rest of it. And then he says if he can pass that along to the widow in shoes.
Yeah. The employee handbook on grieving.
Kate comes over trying to kind of make up from whatever yesterday was.
Well, before we even get there, Chuck comes up.
Oh, yes.
He caught Mimi.
We see a changed Drew.
He caught Mimi stealing. And Chuck's like, I want you to... I'm not quite sure what he asked him to do.
He asked if they can pull a file on her or something.
Pull a file on her or write something up on her. And he's like, leave it be.
Life's too short.
Life's too short. If you arrest her, you have to frisk her. Mm-hmm. And Chuck was like, thanks for saving me.
Good thinking. Yeah.
But then Chuck has like this moment where he was like, what's the matter, Drew? You're different. And he was starting to...
he wanted Drew to open up to him.
Yeah, he wanted to console Drew a little bit here, and Drew was like, "Oh, it ended up talking about Miss Blankenship and everything, and his love life." And he was like, "Oh, this is about your sex life." And
he describes it as like, the woman I lost my virginity to just died, and he's like, "Hey, wait, I'm sorry. Do I have to picture you naked for this?"
And
Chuck goes, "Yep," and he goes, "Well, I'll see you around, Drew. Be good."
Right.
And he just leaves. So
you need your friends that keep you at that certain distance.
Yeah, exactly. I care about you, but I don't care about you enough to envision you new.
Right.
I think it's a good dividing line for friendship. Then Kate comes in, and Kate tries to sort of reconcile whatever yesterday was. And Drew kind of lays out what we just laid out, that he feels like the special people in his life don't really care about him the way that he cares about them. And then Kate is like, well, I hate this, by the way. I'm just gonna flat out, I hate this whole thing. She's like, well, I have a secret that I haven't told any of them, and it's, if one day I thought if we both weren't with somebody at a certain point, I'm just gonna marry you. And it's like, you know what I mean? Like,
do you think she made that up right there?
I'm gonna say no, and the reason
feel
I'm
like
gonna say
that's
no,
something you just make up to say a nice thing to your friend when they're
but
down.
like her mom's been big on her getting with Drew, and like there's clearly like will they won't they tension, despite the fact that we've had both of them in relationships at this point. Like they play around a lot with the notion of Drew and Kate getting together. So I don't know, it's not entirely impossible, I'd say.
Yeah.
But, it does feel like a thing you just say to make somebody feel better. You're totally right.
Yeah, well, especially the way she came up with it, because she just felt bad for because
like
her and Oswald had a secret.
Yeah, it's like it's the last thing that she brings up, too. It's like, it feels like she was waiting for something else to maybe make it better.
And then he has a moment to ask out Julie one more time.
Yeah.
She's walking by. He asks her. She says no immediately again, and he comes right back and he gives Kate a hug.
Honey, I'm home.
Honey, I'm home.
So he has this newfound sort of solace, I guess.
Yeah, and I guess she's implies she's gonna fuck him once.
Yeah, because they were trying to figure out
what day,
what year,
and she's like, at what age
will you no longer
want to have sex?
And she says, okay, I'll marry you the day after you turn that age.
And then he was like, aw. And then she's like, okay, the day before.
What the hell, the day before.
Yeah.
So
good for him.
Yeah.
One last blowout.
But again, we know very clear. It's very clear, though, she is not interested in a sexual thing with Drew at this point. Which really seems like the only hindrance in them getting together.
That's my only hindrance with Drew.
Yeah. Drew got hot, Kate. I don't know if you saw episode 1 of this season.
I don't know if you've seen
I don't know if you saw the Mission Impossible scene.
And really?
Yeah, he got a little toned. He got a little... my man lost some blubber.
Yeah, Kate.
Yeah, get on it.
I'm sorry. Maybe you got to change your standards a little bit, Kate.
Maybe you gotta love a big boy.
It's not just a whole lot of J's in Cleveland. You got to settle sometimes.
Not everybody's gonna be like a cute metrosexual. That's
A cute
gonna leave.
metrosexual that runs a Dairy Queen in Minnesota.
No, we don't. No, not everybody got time for that.
Yeah.
Some people just gotta run a department store.
Good stable man.
Anyway, and that's really it. Oh, I guess the credits scene is we get Billy Blankenship coming by. The band is still rehearsing. I
Yeah,
don't know why.
they're just playing.
Are they just gonna stick together now?
I like that they're all just playing, and Billy comes by, and Drew's like, "Take 5," and Oswald and Ryan are in sunglasses.
Yeah.
He's like, "Man, he's just not hip to what I'm laying down."
Yeah. Man, I can't sit. I gotta stand. They're jazz cats. I do enjoy it.
Yeah, so we got a bunch of jazz
They're
cats.
also, we should note when Billy interrupts their rehearsal, which, by the way, I guess they're just doing band.
They're just doing band
They're
stuff
doing it
now.
But they're playing Moon Over Parma.
Yeah.
It's a nice little button.
Our favorite song
Our
now.
favorite song. But Billy comes through with a baton for Drew from his mom because he meant so much to her. And it says, what does it say on it? It's like, you were always my favorite or something.
It was something about the music. I don't know.
Yeah.
It was a little more generic.
Something engraved on the baton.
But it felt sweet.
Felt personal.
And personal.
Anyway, Billy then turns to leave, and out of his backpack falls like 24 other batons, all engraved with the same lettering. Drew goes through to check them.
I love the idea of this woman died, and then her son
Now has to handle
hand batons to every student she fucked.
This was my
every boy
wish.
she made a man.
Yeah, every boy she made a man. And one of them's that kid's dad, right? We don't know who the kid's father is. It looks like Drew, but we don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a weird. It's a
so
weird
fucking-
mission for you to
ew.
have to fulfill as your son's, as
crazy.
your mother's son.
Yeah, I mean, maybe he doesn't know I would hope he doesn't know the full story, but regardless,
I think if he's going around though, he's getting some stories. He's getting some tales, unfortunately. So, anyway, yeah, that's the episode. So Drew has sex as a minor, and the devil tries to steal Kate's soul. Just another week in
It's
Cleveland,
another
Ohio.
season 2 couple of episodes. Cleveland's getting nuts.
Yeah, it's very 90s sort of sitcom nonsense. I enjoy it.
Yeah,
It's good.
It really is. It's just goofy.
Yeah,
We're gonna get so goofy.
bring back Goofy.
Yeah, whatever happened to Goofy?
Yeah, you mean the dog or the concept?
We don't do Goofy anymore.
No, we don't do Goofy. I like that you didn't answer that. We shouldn't answer what we're talking about.
No.
No, I want to bring back.
I want
Goofy.
you all to vote at home.
Yeah, what do you think?
What do you think I meant?
Yeah, I think we need to get goofier as a society, though.
Yeah, we don't do Goofy enough.
Yeah,
We are close. We're on that precipice.
of being goofy. Again?
We do goofy things.
Yeah, but we're just not a goofy
We
society.
put goofy people in charge sometimes.
Sure, absolutely. We put goofy people on television
All the time.
all the time. But
All of them are goofy.
yeah,
If you want to be on TV,
you have to be willing to be a little goofy.
you have to be a little
Yeah.
fucked.
Anyway, speaking of goofy people on television, the Drew Carey Show.
The Drew Carey
It's
Show.
going to keep going at least until the end of time.
Yeah.
For us. I know
For
I
us.
know it has ended at some point, but it feels like we will never finish watching.
We're breathing life back into it.
I think so. Us and this, any sort of people on the internet.
We need to start some chatter on. I want you guys to tweet at us.
well,
We
we
need
don't
to
have a Twitter.
We need
but
to start some chatter on the internet
Yeah.
about.
We should. We said it earlier that there was going to be a Drew Renaissance,
And it
felt
didn't
like.
really come to fruition.
It hasn't come to fruition as of like this summer.
I think it could though.
By the end of the year.
All it needs is a little kick in the ass sometimes, and then like one little clip.
Yeah.
Maybe we will see something in one of these episodes
That we're like, that's going to go.
and we're like,
viral.
this is bananas.
Yeah.
There are already moments that, like, I don't know, would they ever do an episode about teachers sleeping with a minor on a sitcom again?
Probably not. It does feel like that South Park episode where Ike's teacher sleeps with Ike.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, and I don't know if that's just an older politics thing or if you could still do it today, but like the idea
You
of
can't
like
sleep with
a female
today.
teacher with a student like that. You know what I mean? That's more acceptable than like
Yeah,
a
it
gross
is.
old perverted man.
I do feel like one is a fist pound and the other is prison
Right.
time.
Like that's kind of like we played up that this woman had like 20 guys, but they all look back fondly on it, though. You know what I mean? Versus, like, I feel like in reality that's probably not such the case.
Well, wasn't there was a line actually in this episode at the funeral where Lewis was talking about how when a teacher comes on to you, it can make you feel very special.
Right.
And then Oswald turns to him and Lewis was saying that seemingly from experience.
Yeah.
Oswald turns to him.
Yeah.
And he's like, they arrested that guy, right? And he was oh yeah. That's good. So even in this episode,
yeah.
But
again, that's like, I think that's the 90s of it for me. It's like this is the things that are taboo, the things that aren't taboo.
Yeah.
It's interesting. Yeah. That concludes these episodes, I think.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It does.
Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. If you're watching the show, that's cool. But we don't.
I don't know how you're doing it.
I don't know how you're doing it.
There's like cameras in our apartment.
That would be nice. They're in the lights.
What am I wearing?
Nothing. And I've asked you multiple times to dress for these podcasts.
Yeah, I can't. I can't. I get too hot. I mean,
it is. We're baking. It's dog days of summer, right?
The dog days of summer.
Yeah. I hear you. The things, the Instagrams in the thing, the emails in the thing. I'm gonna stop fucking saying these.
No, you better hit
follow
us
us, email us, send
Just
us
say
your
hello.
thoughts. Yeah,
That's
all we want. All right, y'all. Bye.
Bye.